The number one enemy holding you back from earning a college football scholarship is you. And by going through the process myself and 83% of our seniors earning full ride scholarship, I've learned that it's not just the technical skills of the recruiting process, but it's the soft skills that I'm going to share with you in this video that's going to determine whether or not you earn a scholarship. Even if you're shy, you live in a small town, are undersized, or just worried about doing outreach and building relationships with college coaches. So if you're a parent or an athlete and you're seriously committed about earning a college football scholarship, you're absolutely going to want to watch this whole video where I break down your chances and the skills you need to develop in order to do it in this insanely competitive recruiting landscape. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Richie Contratesi, founder of Next Play, and I mentor and coach underdog athletes to earn college football scholarship. And I make these videos because I know the process firsthand. At just 5'7", 150 pounds, I managed to secure a full ride Division I football scholarship in the SEC at Ole Miss, and now I want to share my journey, the mistakes I made, and the lessons I learned so that you can achieve your dream as well. Also, I have a very special gift for you if you stay to the end. So let's start by looking at the actual chances. All right, so as you can see right here at the top of my screen, there are 133 FCS schools, which are Division I AA, and there's 85 scholarships per school. 128 FBS Division I schools with 85 scholarships, 162 D2 schools with 36 scholarships, and then 95 NAIA football programs with 24 scholarships. So total scholarships for all levels, all grades, freshman, junior, senior, is 30,297. Okay. And there's a total of 1.1 roughly million high school football players in the US. All right. That's a percentage of 0.02%. Now, I get a lot, I hear the argument a lot. Well, that's for all of the scholarships, not just the seniors. So here's the math, right? If there's 11,305 scholarships, roughly 20% are going to be for freshmen. So there's 2,261 freshman scholarships at the FCS level. And again, these are for high school players, 2,176 FBS, 1,164, and then NAIA 456. D3 does not offer athletic scholarships. So total freshman signees is always going to be roughly around 6,000. Total high school players, 1 million. And then if you look at the statistics, 20% of high schools make up seniors. So that means there's going to be roughly 220,000 high school football players that are seniors. And if you divide that by the number of scholarships, it's the same percentage. So the bottom line is there's a 0.02% chance of earning a scholarship, right? Out of high school, a 0.02% chance. So a lot of people, just don't understand how competitive it is to actually earn a scholarship. And if you're not in the 0.0001% of athletes, then there's so much that you have to do in order to get a scholarship. And I'm not going to talk about the technical things because you can watch a lot of my videos. This video is going to be about the truth to you as an athlete or as a parent of what it actually takes, right? The number one thing that holds football players back from getting a scholarship is confidence. Lack of confidence leads to lack in belief in themselves, and they don't have a proven system. They don't have any type of coaching and accountability. They listen to the wrong people. They stop believing in themselves and they give up, right? I've seen this time and time again. The players that earn scholarships do so by building confidence, by doing the things that I'm going to share with you right now. All right. So the 0.02%, right? Like I said, that's the 0.0001% that you hear about, the national news that are signing, they get all these D1 offers. But if we were to look at a D1 program, this 2,261 or 2,176 scholarship opportunities for seniors, that top 0.0001% is going to take most of them. But then there's this huge pool of high school seniors that can fill those gaps. Coaches just don't know about you, right? They don't know about you. And so here are some things that stop football players from earning scholarships when they should have full ride scholarships. Okay. And again, this is from my own experience going through the process and earning a scholarship and working with the seniors and the high school athletes that I have over the years. So number one, okay, they do not allow fear to control their life. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown, fear of what other people think about them, right? as you go through the recruiting process, doing outreach, learning sales, learning marketing, putting yourself out there. These are all emotions that your athlete or your son or you are going to experience at an extremely high level, right? And so a lot of kids back off, don't send as much, don't do as much outreach because if I fail, I'm going to be mad at myself. I'm going to hate myself. Or what if I actually succeed and I don't know how to handle it? Or what is it actually going to be like at the D1 level? Am I going to be able to play? Am I going to embarrass myself? What are my friends going to think about me if I'm posting on social so much? If I'm taking my time away from being with them to work on outreach? So there's a really simple solution here. And I want to share this with you because it's so important. And I'm telling you, I've worked with so many, and just in life, like these are life skills, right? I mean, if you're a parent, you're watching this, you know this. Most people go their whole life and they allow fear to control it, and they don't get what they want in their life because they pull back and make sure that they're liked by everyone and that they aren't too successful. And so then they complain and they don't get what they want, right? So here's a simple way around this. You make the goal the doing of the activity that it takes to earn a scholarship, not the end result. The easiest way to overcome fear is to make the goal for your son or for you the doing of the activities it leads to actually getting a scholarship. So, what are these activities? Making calls, sending emails, doing video DMs to coaches, potentially going to camps, not saying you have to, you know, making highlight videos, right? Building relationships, like all of these things that you have to do. And so what you can do is make the goal the doing of the activity. So I'm going to make 10 calls this week. I'm going to send 40 emails this week. My goal is to do 3 DM videos per day, right? So what would that be? 21 or yeah, 21 videos per week, right? And so you simply just make these the goal. So instead of the goal earning a Division 1 scholarship and you're a sophomore, why don't we start by making the goal the activities, and then at the end of the week, you can say I achieved my goal, right? And so when you stay focused on the goals and the things that you're doing and the achievements that you had, you're going to build confidence over time. You're going to get better at making calls. You're going to get better at the emails, and you're not going to be focused on failure. You're not going to be focused on the unknown and what people think about you. You're only going to be focused on, as you heard me say this a lot, the next play. All right. And your next play is going to be the next call that you make, the next email that you send, right? The next video, the next interview you have with a coach, the next visit that you're on, right? And so as you move coaches through the pipeline, you can begin to move the goals, right? I need to have 4 interviews this week with coaches. I need to find 5 area coaches this week. I need to turn those 5 area coaches into 3 pitches and interviews, right? So you're always going to be adjusting the goals, but the bottom line is that the goals are always activity based, not result based. All right. So that's number one. Number two, the athletes that get scholarships take responsibility for everything. All right. So there's a book, it's called Extreme Ownership. It's really good, but they take responsibility for everything, right? I said in the very beginning of this video, the number one enemy holding you back from success is you. You're the one person who's responsible for your own success and therefore are the only one responsible for achieving it. It's not coaches, right? It's not your coaches. It's not your parents. It's not your friends. It's not a buddy that plays at a school. It's you. You're the one that's fully responsible for your success. The athletes that don't earn a scholarship don't believe it's their fault. It's the coach's fault. It's that the fact that they live in a small town. It's that they're short. It's that all of these different things that are irrelevant and don't matter. They're just a bunch of excuses. That's all that they are. They're excuses. The bottom line is that it's not up to your parents to do the outreach to get a scholarship, because they're not the ones that need to develop these life skills in order to be successful, not only in football, but in life. It's not up to the coaches. It's fully in your control as the athlete. You have the reins. You have the control. So it's up to you to take it and take ownership of that process. Number 3, they have an identity of being relentless. Right? Now, this word identity is so important because I hear this all the time from parents and athletes, and they say things along the lines of, my kid's shy, right? No, they have an identity of being shy. And a lot of times this comes from childhood of being told they were shy and being shy. And so then they have this identity that they're shy. It's like, okay, well, do you want to break that identity? And do you want to start building these intangibles and these skills that are going to set you up for the rest of your life? Or do you want to just continue to have that identity? Because unless you're in the 0.001%, you're not going to just get found. Coaches aren't just going to come to you and just be throwing scholarships at you, not at the highest level if you want to compete, right? So they don't identify as shy, and their parents don't justify this, right? I hear this all the time. I don't know if my kid can do this, if they can do the outreach. Yes, they can. They 100% can do it. And I've seen kids that had all kinds of different ailments and twitches and you name it. Doesn't communicate well, but it starts with practice. It starts with one call. It starts with one email. And over time, you get better at it. Do you want to break the mold, or do you want to build the skills that are going to allow them to be successful in their life, or for you to be successful in your life? They choose an identity of being relentless and going after what they want and building relationships with coaches because they know that's what it takes. Again, in the beginning, I said, this isn't for you if you're not willing to be committed and to do what it takes. So you could switch your identity and you can go from shy, or I don't, my kid's not going to do marketing and my kid's not going to do sales, or I'm not going to do these things. And you could switch your identity to this, or you can continue doing that. It's up to you. It's just like, here's an example. If someone said to you, it's interesting when you're around a new group of people and you get an identity and they say, oh, this kid is the one that is the life of the party, or this kid is the really smart one, right? You fit that mold. And this might have happened to you from teachers, right? I remember I was a really bad student in elementary school, and I had one teacher, it was my math teacher in 7th grade. And she said, when I came in there, she said, I heard you're really good at math and you're a good student. And I had to live to this identity. So you can change your identity. You can live up to these standards. So with mentorship and surrounding yourself with the right people, you can now identify as a go-getter, as someone who's relentless, as someone who goes out and gets what they want in their life and doesn't just sit around and wait for it to come to them. So you could switch your identity. And you've probably heard me say this, and I actually just recently released a video about this, of in order to earn a scholarship, you have to become an elite leader. You have to become a businessman, right? You're a businessman now. You're not just an athlete, right? And it's the same thing in entrepreneurship or in business or in speaking. Like, people aren't going to just come to you. You've got to become an elite leader and learn all of these skills and become a businessman who's going to go out and get what they want. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go my whole life settling for mediocrity, settling for whatever comes my way. No, I'm going to go out and get whatever the hell it is that I want. Having that mindset is totally up to you, but I'll tell you, the athletes that do have that mindset are the ones that get scholarships. Now, I did promise you I was gonna have a free gift for you for watching this video, and so I'd like to offer you a free copy of my book, In Spite of the Odds, where I share exactly how I went on to earn a college football scholarship in the SEC at Ole Miss at just 5'7" and 150 pounds. Now, I spent 2 years writing this book and put my heart and soul into it, and I'm willing to give you a free copy for your commitment. All that I ask is that you just cover shipping. I'll put a link below. Which leads me to number 4. The athletes that earn scholarship treat the entire recruiting process as a business transaction. They don't treat it as I'm getting recruited to play college football, because it's not what it is right now. I mean, I mentioned earlier, there's 85 scholarships. Schools are now bringing high-level scholarship athletes in without a scholarship, replacing that with NIL money because they don't have any scholarships left. Like, the business is absolutely crazy. So you need to treat this as a business, which means you need to learn business, right? You need to learn marketing. It's a skill you have to learn, right? You've got to learn sales and closing. You got to be able to sell a coach. You got to be able to close a coach. These are, again, you want to play at the low level, lowest scholarship, whatever comes your way, don't learn these skills. But if you want the best opportunity for yourself, you got to learn how to build relationships at a very high level. What does that look like? How do you provide value to coaches? Right? These are really, really, really important business skills you have to learn if you want the best scholarships possible. And the athletes that get full ride scholarships at the highest level possible that they could be at do this. And number 5, they don't listen to outside people that have no idea what they're talking about. They don't listen to outside people that have never done it, right? So they don't listen. You don't need recruiters, okay? Right? Because recruiters do it for you. And this is a process that must be done by the athlete to develop the skills. The coach, here's why it doesn't work. If a recruiter does outreach, the coach calls the recruiter and the recruiter's like, oh, this is the recruiter, not the athlete. The coach is like, I want to speak with the athlete. And you get emails, the athlete needs to pick up the phone and call that coach right then and there. Like this, it doesn't work. So they don't listen to outside people. Like this comment on one of my posts that I'm going to put on the screen right here. If you're good, colleges find you. Like, this is literally the worst advice that can be given. And this is the advice that most athletes get. This is what most people comment on my posts. And it's just so unfortunate. And because I speak with so many seniors that are too late in the process, their biggest regret was that they didn't begin building relationships with coaches when they were younger and leaving it into someone else's hands. Why would you ever leave your success in the hands of another human being? I don't know about you, but I would never do that. And in general and in life, you don't just let success come to you, you go get it. So the athletes at the 0.001%, yes, of course, they're going to come to you. And if you are sitting here right now and you have 7 Division I offers, but they're not the level of Division I offers, this still pertains to you as well. So surround yourself with people who've done it, right? Surround yourself with mentors, coaches, people who have done it and are helping you develop as a person, develop the skills to succeed instead of allowing other people to do it, listening to people who say things like, "We're just going to come to you." No. Surround yourself with people who are going to support you through this process and help you through this process. You've probably watched a lot of my technical videos, but none of that matters until you fix you. Until you develop these leadership skills, nothing will matter because you'll send some emails, you'll send some DMs, you'll make some calls, you won't get any responses, or nobody's going to answer the phone and you're going to quit because you got to develop these skills first or commit to doing it as a part of the process. Now, if you got value from this video and you'd like to see more videos just like this, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if you want to watch my video on how to start the recruiting process and do outreach, then you're going to want to watch this video right here.